Hi guys, how is everybody? Hope everybody's well. This journal is probably a little bit late going out. I was supposed to record it probably last week, but obviously the kids have been off school and we've been on holiday and stuff, so it's been a bit of a hectic couple of weeks. So finally managed to record. So this theme is Kraken. It's a custom order for somebody. The design is quite similar to the pirate and the mermaid one that I did a while back. So as you can see, we've got this large Kraken charm here, and then underneath the clay I added some 1939 ledger paper which had been written on, and obviously it's been all painted in acrylic paints and then made to look shiny with acrylic paints. This journal, a lot of the pages you can see are all like bluey, black, dark greens. With this type of theme journal, it was quite hard for me to find like a crack off, not crack off, that's Poland, isn't it? Sorry, it was hard for me to find any type of themed printables for me to use, so quite a lot of the stuff inside this journal is all basically, you know, what I've done myself. So we've got a clasp and then a closure there. I'll just put it in a bit. My holder for my phone, it broke, so hopefully it might not fall off. I've actually forgotten what I've done on the inside as it's been that long. Try and zoom in a little bit and go down. So on the front side and the back side of the journal, I've put some tea dyed paper, and then I've screwed it up and then put it back down again, and then gone over it in different types of inks just to give it like an old mappy looking theme. So this journal is obviously based off Kraken. Is it Kraken? And obviously themed on ships and things like that. I was just double checking then because I keep saying crack off and not instead of cracking. So the front page we have just a printable map of North America, and it's just been aged by myself. And then we have a letter, and then I've added like a vintage stamp and then just done some stamping, and then on the inside I've added some of the paper that I've dyed myself with different types of blues and things. Like I said, throughout this journal a lot of the pages I have dyed and done myself. Just an image of an old sailor which I got off the archive files, I think it is. And then we have this poem, The Kraken, which I've added on the front. So like I say, you can see some of the paper there which all made by myself. We've got an image of the Kraken and then just some old lined paper, some journaling cards, and we've got the vintage ledger, and that just flips out. This is tracing paper and it was dyed with tea, and it's made like all crinkly. I love that noise. And we've got some Dory silks, done a bit of collaging and stamping. This is the image what's on the cover of the journal. Just a bit of collaging with different types of fabrics and vintage file folders. Again, the papers are all made by myself. And then another collage here, and then this image was the actual image that I used on the other journal which I did, which was very similar to the front cover. Just a miniature journaling card of the Kraken, and then we've just got a ticket which is vintage. And then we have some old vintage matte paper, which is out of a really old book that I have, and I put in the Atlantic Ocean, and it does have some of America and things like that. Some more collage work, and we have a little octopus at the top with some cheesecloth. And then we have another image of another sailor. This is out of one of my old vintage books. I think it's History of Britain, and with it having ships on it, I wanted to add it in. Same with this one. I like this because it had a map on it, and then someone's obviously wrote it to someone for the 21st birthday, I will make you fishers of men. So I thought that was quite relevant for the journal. Stick them in there. And this is called mulberry paper, I think it's called. And then I love this, how this turned out. I love the colour and the texture. It turned out pretty well. And then these are Tim Holtz cardstock, which I've cut to make large pockets in the centre of this. And then just added some rope. And this is like writing paper with stamps on. And then it's like a miniature journal. And these are just some of the pages what I did myself. Different textures. I'll just stick that back in. I'll tie that back up when I've finished. And then journaling card backed onto tea dye paper. This is a real old photograph. I don't know why it's so big, but it was out of my collection what I have of old vintage photographs, and obviously it looks like a boat of some sort, so I just thought that was a bit relevant to add into this journal. Some bits of journaling space is what I've added on there, and then some wax with a heart on. Just journaling cards there. This is vintage paper. This is the back side of the vintage atlas paper. Another ship. And then we have the Kraken there trying to sabotage the boat, what the man is on. These was out of like a archive library, which aren't copyrighted. And this is like this flips out, and it's like a long piece of paper, and it just goes back. It's stuck to the ledger. That's the first signature. This is the second. Again, there's some more journaling cards, and then this was out of like an old miniature book that I had with different types of fishing boats and things like that. Again, we have another old vintage photograph, but I think this was an actual, someone's actually taken a picture of a picture, if you understand what I mean. So I don't know, I just saw it, I found it in my stash of vintage pictures, and I just thought, yeah, I'll add that. Some more stamping, and then up here I haven't stitched the top, so the person who receives this can put things inside. It's like a large pocket at the top. Again, this is another old vintage photograph. If you can see, my lighting is not very good. And then again, this is from out of a vintage book called History of England, about ships, flags and soldiers. Lots of journaling pages. What have we got here? Another Kraken image. Kraken. You can write on the backs of them with white pen. Just a picture I cut out of a vintage encyclopedia. Just some tea-dyed lime paper. Another image of a Kraken. I apologise if I ain't pronouncing the Kraken right. I do apologise. And then this is just a glassine bag, and then I think I've just added like images in which I didn't manage to use in the journal. Some more collaging, and then we've got a charm with like a compass on it. You can see that. We've got a belly band with some writing paper, and then another envelope what I've tea-dyed with a vintage stamp, and then again some of the paper what I've dyed with myself to write on. And then in the centre of this journal we have a glassine paper with this lovely vibrant octopus Kraken, some sari silk, and then I've added some of these in this journal. It's just like cut-offs of random paper, which is vintage music paper. This is from a 1911 newspaper, which I just keep cutting up because the pages are that old. Well, they're over 100 years old and delicate, so I just like make a bit of a collage kind of thing. Some more another paper, some vintage paper, and got a pocket here, and again you can write on white ink. Again, there's a Kraken, and then up here this is a large pocket, and then I just put some more of that paper in. What I've made, these pages can be easily journaled on in black ink. and some more collaging, as you can see. And then this is like a large pocket, some more journaling paper, like a postcard, and then I've backed it with tea dye paper, and then on the inside another journaling spot there paper. And then this is another postcard, and I've stitched it on, and then you undo it all, and it's an A4 piece of paper which has been tea dyed, and then you have a little pocket there as well, but I'll not undo it. And that's the second signature. This is the third, and then we've just got a ship, and then again this is random scraps paper. And then this is like a little flip out what I've made. Bear with me, so we'll take that off. And then we've got a journaling, we've got a tuck pocket there with obviously this in. And then if you lift this up, obviously it's an envelope, and you can put things on the inside of there. And then this flips open, and we've got a large pocket again with some tea dye paper, and then another image. And that goes in there, and then open these, and then we've got another tuck spot there with some more of that lined paper which has been tea dyed. It just goes in a little bit stiff. And then we've got these two envelopes which you can put things inside, and they just flip like that. And then the like ripped and things, because I've added some really old paper to make this, and then just to give it a bit of an aged effect. And then if we turn it on the other side, obviously we've seen that, and then we have an envelope there to put things in. I can't grasp it. And then another tuck spot there with some paper, and then it just all folds back together like so. And then we use this bulldog clip to secure it like so. Vintage ledger, a bit of collage going on there. Another journaling spot, some vintage atlas paper which is based on the United States. I've added some cheesecloth just to give it a bit of texture. Here's another one of those A4 things what you can undo and write. And then another journaling card with some silk. This is an envelope with a pirate thing on the back and writing paper. Kraken again, destroying another ship. As you can see, I've left plenty of journaling space. And then we've got some little tags, another ship, how to tie different types of, well, how to do different knots and ropes, and then some journaling cards. And then I added this image because the person who contacted me and placed this order, the first thing she said to me was, I want this journal based on this, and I started to panic because I just thought she wanted it just based on just this, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a really old film and it's going to be impossible. But then obviously we got chatting and stuff, and so I just wanted to add that in because that was the first thing that she sent me, so I kind of added that in. And then that is the end of the journal. It's taken me probably 3 or 4 weeks to make this journal, just because of all the papers I've had to dye and colour and, you know, things like that. There's no kits to buy for Kraken. I didn't want to make it too, what's the word? I just wanted to kind of focus it on Kraken and the sea and ships, old ships as well. I didn't want to base it too like seaside, if you get me. So this was quite a bit of a, not a challenge, but it was kind of hard to try and get the theme kind of right. So I hope the lady likes a journal. And I'm still blabbering on. I do apologise. I've got to get another video done now. So thank you for watching, and if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe at the bottom. Thank you for watching, and